So welcome to the roast of Shane Chan. If you don't know the concept of the comedy roast, it's like a celebration of someone's life, except they haven't died yet, so we don't have anything good to say. So we have here a panel of guys who are ready to take the mickey. For most of us that means to tease. Someone here is asking who brought the mickey.
What just me?
So here are the ground rules. Whatever we say, the goal is humour. The style of humour is insult comedy, and this means that some mean things might get said. It's okay, most of it will be true. Truth spoken in love, but not spoken lovingly. So we have told the panel to keep it clean. We should say these guys are trained professionals, don't try this at home. However, these guys are not trained professionals, they're not professional comedians. In fact, they're not even funny.
And they're not even home. No, they're in my house, my rules, right.
But what they lack in humour, they make up for in being really easy targets for jokes. So because they're not professional comedians, it takes a lot of courage for them to stand up here and be insulted in front of you all. And so we've sat down with each of them and they've agreed to give and take these insults without being offended, which is nice.
So laugh anyway.
Yeah. Some might be described as not being easily offended, some are just going to wear earplugs, and some are just thick-skinned. Richie, how does it feel having the unfortunate combination of thick skin and big bones?
Hey, I resemble that remark.
So I guess other than that, you're probably regular weight. You can use that one anytime you want. So if as part of the crowd here today, you get offended, personally, then we've probably missed one of our oversized targets and we apologise. The foundation of today is Shane likes everything black, including his humour, so we decided to have a roast.
Oh, well done.
When Satish found out we were having a roast, he said curry would be cheaper for this many people, and so hence the meal.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we have a few good men, and we intend to find out if they can handle the truth.
You say good man.
A few good men. So we have toilets through here. If you need to use them, then they're available. We've already started with the food that'll be available. I think we've sort of eaten a fair chunk of it, so if you want seconds, get in quick. And plenty, help yourself to drinks. There's plenty here as we go along. So I think we've covered everything, mainly by getting Shane to sit down.
One job, Richie.
Yeah. Richie, it's not church on a Sunday, mate. Get it right.
Hey, who are we roasting?
Who's around?
Everyone. So I'd like to welcome everyone. Particularly, I'd like to introduce the panel. So as you look, this is what Tinder looks like if you swipe all the way to the left. Yeah, somehow as I look at this dais, best man doesn't seem like such a great achievement. So I'll introduce the panel in order of how long they've known the guest of honour. And the longest sentence for that is Satish. Satish Chan sitting over the back there. You might know Satish from the local Cookie Mart. He's Shane's dad. His real dad, not to be confused with Shane's white dad, now known as Whyalla dad. No, Satish is Shane's sugarcane daddy, I think is the phrase. So Satish is of Indian heritage but comes from Fiji. He was actually a pastor in Fiji and AOG church. And being a minister in Fiji is dangerous because they tend to get eaten.
Really?
So Satish became a farmer because the Fijians seem to avoid vegetables. So, growing up in Fiji, some things are very different, and then some things are just a variation of what we have here. So, just to clarify, for example, they have music in Fiji. but they have traditional Fijian music, and then they also have some of our music that just changed slightly. So the village people is translated as 1 Indian chief and 3 of the 5 food groups. So, next longest is Richie Stark. Richie, he grew a beard when Shane was 16 because no one could tell them apart. He actually started trimming it a bit for the same reason more recently. So you know, Richie, they say body size is hereditary. It comes from not running in your genes. Every time Richie speaks, he should be arrested for littering. And he's actually lost a lot of weight lately. He's gone down from a 13XL, he's now down to a 5XL. Which means he's lost 8 X's, as opposed to Shane, who's marrying his first girlfriend. So Richie is a... That can't be right. Hang on. Richie is a kind of sewer. Oh no, hang on. Richie is a connoisseur of music. He likes bands like... He likes bands like Metallica, Slayer, AC/DC, Striper, Bloodgood. He loves horrible music. You would have heard some of it playing before. Rock and roll is the bare minimum. He prefers heavy metal, black metal, Christian metal, death metal, thrash metal.
Stainless steel.
To me it all sounds like scrap metal. The heavier the better, said his stepdad trying to decide which kid to adopt. He likes a good fight. Like Buddha Ali. Or like Mike Tyson if he ate more than just the ears. He claims to be Australian, but growing up he played American football, ate French fries with hollandaise sauce and Belgian chocolate, and smoked Turkish tobacco. So I'm not sure how Australian he really is. Next in order was supposed to be Jack Thompson. He's decided not to come today. Yeah. So I was going to introduce him. His job is helping people get into houses. That sounds like the sort of guy Richie used to work for.
He's in the robbery business.
Yeah.
I've seen your chat notes and I've seen your notes here.
What did you say before? More than the last 10 years or something? Sermons.
You've seen his sermon notes?
I've seen like 1 or 2.
He has only had 1 or 2.
Yeah,
Aren't they an extinct species?
I've seen a sentence on a piece of paper. Alright. But I would also like to thank the other speakers for taking their time, effort in preparing something to say, travelling down here, and I was going to say looking a little fancy, but nah. I mean, there's Reese. He went to the effort of putting on shoes.
Thank you. It's the first for everything.
Reese was one of the first people in Wyler to meet Shane.
Lucky me.
He met Shane after Pastor John asked if Shane could stay with him for a weekend. Long weekend, Reese.
Yeah, felt like 3 months. Oh wait.
This was a great learning experience for Reese, as it taught him that sometimes it's okay to say no to the pastor. But a big thanks to all the other speakers as well, especially to you, Richie. A big thanks for a big guy. I've only met Richie a couple times in my life, so it's kind of difficult to make jokes about him. But fortunately for me, he's fat. I'd like to thank the other panelists, Satish. I've met Satish a couple times in Melbourne, but I don't really know him that well. So I asked Pastor John what's he like, and he said he's basically a thinner Shane.
That's the best insult you could give.
The only real similarities I've seen, apart from the family relation between him and Shane, is the skin colour and a love of curries. So I guess I'm a white Shane. Now, I didn't have much to say about Jack, which is good because he's not here. But just that's about it. Thank you, everyone.
That's great. Good job.
Yes, dodgy cable.
I don't get it. That's all right. One cable.
So the bad news
Yes, that was the bar.
is all good things must come to an end. The good news, Reese is going to live forever.
Oh, nice.
Reese recently, that's a tongue twister. Reese recently received a letter back from the people who trace your origins, and it turns out that his family tree was a stump. So although he has no friends, it's okay, because he has 2 mobile phones, so he can at least talk to himself.
I don't even pick up.
Whatever you think about it, whatever you think about Reese, you either have to love him or hate him. I happen to love him, and counting Reese, that makes 2 of us. So, welcome to the stage, Reese Shadots.
Do I just start whenever or? Oh no, there we go. Yeah, hi, I'm Reese, as Josh mentioned earlier. Yeah, probably one of the first people in my life to meet Shane after he visited for 3 days, months, either. It was a fun time while I was there. Got to play a few pranks on him. None of them really worked because he didn't understand what was going on. But that's alright. So I guess the main thing I want to bring up is why are we here? Why are we here?
Because we're not all there.
Because we're not all there, that's right. And we must not be all there because we're here for this guy.
Woo! There we go.
This guy right here. So, how come he gets this? How come he gets lunch, we buy him lunch, he gets cricket, he gets all this stuff, he gets a dinner. He gets a dinner. Why does he get a dinner? This guy. Do you know how many people didn't get a dinner? There's a list. I've got a list of people that did not get a dinner. Alright. Let's see who's on the list. Alright, so first we've got the captain of the Titanic, who once said to room service, who sent for all this ice? He didn't get a dinner. Jack the Ripper's mother, who said to Jack, how come I never see you with the same girl twice? Never got a dinner. William Tell's son, who said as his father was pointing the bow and arrow at the apple on his head, there's got to be an easier way to kill the worms. He never got a dinner. Henry Ford, who despite his immense fortune, never owned a Cadillac. Once in his life. Never. Once in his life. But this guy, right here, he gets a dinner. He gets a dinner because he achieved something. Apparently. E.T., who said to Pauline Hanson, you look funny. Never got a dinner. Then there was Muhammad Ali. He spent 3 hours a week in hospitals teaching nervous people how to eat Jello. He never got a dinner. Orville Wright, who said to his brother, Wilbur, we were only in the air for 12 seconds. How could my luggage be in Cleveland? Never got a dinner. But wait, there's more. Frank Sinatra's mother, who said just once, I wish he'd do it the way I told him. Never got a dinner. Never got a dinner. Graham Alexander Bell, who once said to Thomas Edison, how come there's no light in this phone booth? Never got a dinner. But this guy, right here, what's he done? He's done nothing. He gets a dinner. Maybe that's the trick. We just got to do nothing, then we get a dinner. I could work on that. Some of the great leaders of the world. Not him. But some of the great leaders of the world. George Washington, who said to his father, Dad, if I never tell a lie, how am I ever going to become president? Never got a dinner. Donald Trump's mother, who said, Donnie, stop playing Monopoly and get a haircut. He never got a dinner. George W. Bush, who said to Pope John Paul II, give us a visit and bring the missus. Never got a dinner. Queen Elizabeth, who said buzz. Queen Elizabeth, who said, not now, I'm on the throne. Never got a dinner. Henry VIII, who said to his lawyer, forget the alimony, I've got a better idea. Never got a dinner. Ponce de Leon, who said, when he discovered the fountain of youth, where are all the paper cups? Never got a dinner. Never got a dinner. Abraham Lincoln, great man, great leader, who said, a house divided is condominium. I'm good at reading. I never got a dinner. Probably fair enough.
You're not going to get one.
No, not unless I do nothing like Shane. Alright, so if we look at Shane, what he's achieved in his life, there's only one thing he's done, and that's really all just in church. So it might be good to look at some religious leaders who also did not get a dinner. Moses, who said to the children of Israel, wear your galoshes. I'm really good at reading. I never did this trick before. Never got a dinner. Goliath's mother, who said to Goliath, stop running around with David, you're always coming home stoned. Never got a dinner. Simon Peter, who embarrassed the other disciples at the Last Supper by asking for seconds. Never got a dinner. Noah's wife, who said to him after 40 days and 40 nights, it's your turn to spread the papers on the floor. Never got a dinner. Adam, who said to Eve, what do you mean you have nothing to wear? Never got a dinner. Nostradamus, who predicted that he would never get a dinner, didn't get a dinner! But this guy, he didn't have to predict anything. He just got a dinner. Cain, whose wife divorced him because he wasn't able. Never got a dinner. Lot, who said to his wife as she was being turned into a pillar of salt, salt, we've got plenty. Coffee we need. Didn't get a dinner. Paul Newsham.
Oi!
Oh. When he goes to the doctor, they won't do an x-ray, they just hold him up to the light, and he never got a dinner. I find these people have the advantage of not being Indian, but even some famous Indians got a dinner. Never got a dinner, sorry. Rohan Papana, the famous Indian tennis player, who said to the umpire, what do you mean love 40? I have enough trouble with one. Never got a dinner. Sachin Tendulkar's mother, who said to her son, I don't care how well you play that game, you're not a doctor. Never got a dinner. Mahatma Gandhi's mum, who said, eat a cookie, who's gonna know? Never got a dinner. But I guess he's also Fijian as well, isn't he? So, what about all those famous Fijians that everyone knows, who never got a dinner? Well, there's There's Ratu Undre. But I guess he got a dinner. It must be it. You eat a lot, you do nothing, and you feed Jen. So we'll give you a dinner.
I'm actually really enjoying this. It's like a talent show, a mental institution. Glenside's Got Talent. So, 22 years ago, Satish and Shaleshni Chand visited the Build-A-Bear factory. And now Satish is here for what might be his last public appearance. There's lots of people who are known by only one name. Possibly even only have one name, like Shakira, Bono, Coolio, Pink, Rihanna, Kajol, Adele, Pitbull, Macklemore. Two other people who only have one name. Satish's kids. That's right, they share one name. I don't know where the creativity was. They used up all their ideas and care on their first kid. And then we have Shane. And so I'd like to welcome Satish Chand. Thank you.
I got passion for my class and I ain't afraid to show it. Hop on in and roll it. Hop on in and roll it. Hop on in and roll it.
Please don't do that, that's the home.
Alright, you summed up very well. Okay. Shane. I've known him longer than anyone else, so I know who he is, and now I know really what to say about him, because he knows whatever I say will be true. And he doesn't like truth. Doesn't like truth, especially when it's spoken about him. What is not safe to say, I will say. But whatever I will say probably will have an impact on him. So I'll start with him 22 years back, as Pastor John was saying. 22 years back. Wow, that's a long time back. So Shelley's now about to deliver. Going to the hospital, okay. Oh, and she's saying, it's alright, it's time. Okay, we go to the hospital. One night's gone, hasn't arrived. He's always late, we know, as usual. So, okay, we have faith. Okay, he will come. We think, oh, he's coming. Second day, nothing. Second night, still in hospital, nothing. And no wonder why we are so annoyed on him till today. He's not arriving on time. So he's not coming. Okay. And then they're about to say, okay, Shelley, I think he's not coming. You go back home. Okay. And they said, okay, let's leave him for another night. Let's see what's happening. So, yeah, it took him 3 nights to come. So how late he is.
Yeah.
So he's late always, as usual. So he came after that. Okay, that's fine. And from that day onward, Shelley says, every time you see him, how annoying he is. And okay, whenever you give him any job, anything to do, okay, Shane, you'll be doing this. Shane, has it been done? Yes, where are you? I'm in the toilet. First thing he gets is that whenever a job is given to him, first thing is he will go to the toilet and decide, oh, how I'm going to tackle this piece of job. And only where he gets all the ideas is in the toilet. Come on. So now we know and understand where he sits.
He's flushed with ideas.
In the toilet. So that's where he belongs. Okay. No more. At times we actually think, you should have delivered him in the toilet. Every time he's in the toilet. Okay. It's fine. And then when he said, okay, it's time for me to leave home. Thank God. That's the best thing they've done. From one place, it's going to the other. From one flush of toilet, he's going to the other. Except it's from the black skin, he's going to the white one. So it became a problem for the white guy. So I said, all right, it's good. It's good that one problem is going now, and it will be a burden and a problem to the other. And till today, I thank his white dad, John Nation, for accepting him. So I know he must know now how annoying he is at times. But he accepted him as he is. That's a good thing. That he has taken all the responsibilities from where we finished, and now today, whatever happens from now onwards after getting married with Luisa, everything, it's not our fault. He becomes someone else.
Very well done.
So I know some of the things which they have done is really good things, but good things comes with some bad habits also.
Yeah.
Because once you do those mistakes, then only you realize and learn that now I have to pass it on. So what John did is that it's enough. Enough is enough. Now I pass it to Luisa. And she will be the one. And I'm surprised and I'm really worried that now someone else has to take that burden. And especially when it was with us, it was a small burden. Now look at him. Look at him. What a burden he will be. So I hope that as it was mentioned that ITEXs has finished, I hope it's only one. Not passing the burden to the other X or the other X or the other one. So hopefully the burden remains there and sits with them and they do good. But that's one thing I doubt. What good it will bring, I don't know. But one thing I do know, that he forgets things very quickly. So I don't know, he may end up with 6 or 7 children, or 8, or even 10, because he forgets. And the worst thing will be when he will have more and more, he will forget them in the school, or forget them to pick, forget them to take them to school, or even as I was telling him the other day, we cracked a joke, and I was telling him when I told him to do something, he was going towards the toilet, and then he asked me, "What did you say?" I said, "Okay, you know what happened? This is a real story. One of our neighbors, he was going mostly to the shopping or the town with the wife. One day he was coming home, sat down in the carrier, and wife just went to get the bread. She said, "Okay, I'm getting the bread." And the next thing happens is he is home. And the wife is still in town. So he forgot the wife to bring her home. So I said, "Okay, that's exactly who you are." One day, Luisa will be scratching her head. Hey, why did I make this mistake in my life? So, a mistake is a mistake. It has happened now. So, can't avoid that. So, I made that mistake. I can't. Shelly was saying wait for another few years before we get the second one, but we were very quick, one after another. So we said, oh, 2 will be good, playing together and everything will be okay. But yeah, it was a mistake. Until today, Shelly sometimes pinches me. Why did you do that mistake? I said, you're equally the one who is responsible for that, not only me. She said, if I only knew all those things, because I'm not that educated, I didn't knew. Otherwise, I would have pushed you aside. So, but anyway, it has happened. So, hopefully from now onwards, he will understand where he sits and where he stands. So,
We all know where he sits.
you know.
Yeah, the toilet ministry.
So, and those are some of the things which I know about him. But now it's time for me to move on and not to know all those things. So that one problem has been solved. After 22 years of our marriage and staying with him. So that problem has been solved, and hopefully we don't make that mistake again. All right, thank you.
The best we could put together. Hang on, sorry, I read that wrong. We've got a team here today. Best we could put together. So I have some letters, used to be called telegrams, from some people who either couldn't make it or didn't think they were going to be able to make it. So I actually got...
didn't want to come.
Yeah, so the first one is my dad actually sent a telegram before he found out that he could make it. He said, Shane, you're like a grandson to me. Most of my grandkids have olive skin, so we'll call you Black Olive. I have one here. This is a Dear Jackie letter. Dear Jackie, help. Signed, Shane's chair. So, yes, that's right. Just to let you know, Shane is in no way related to Pastor Sam Chand. Sam Chand asked us to say that.
After meeting today.
And the Asian guy from Myers at Modbury says to send his best wishes and try the frozen salmon. So, Stephen Lim, over here, not part of the panel, but he's written a song for Shane, so he's going to come up and sing in a moment. He got himself into trouble a couple of years ago when a young guy was trying to commit suicide and got the wrong person. So he spent a few days in a coma, and it was a real wake-up call. So at that point in his journey, he stopped running or doing any other exercise. And now he's on a path to becoming a pastor, which is exciting. And so Stephen's going to come up and sing a song that he wrote especially for Shane.
Yeah. No, that's lost it.
You should. You're saying enough here. How many people did you write for?
Alright, so before I start this song, Pastor John rang me up a week ago. Goes, I'll write a song with Shane. I said, oh yeah, a week ago. So I make sure said to Louisa, do you know anything about Shane? Can you tell me something? And he said, no, I don't really know. Ask Pastor John. I think you married that guy. So I asked Pastor John. So most of this, alright, 100% of this is not from me, alright? I just wrote the song, but it's not mine, alright? So yeah, this is the type of song I'll write. But most of these are Pastor John's, alright?
Blame him.
Blame him, yeah.
Throw the tomatoes at John.
And Louisa told me that Shane loves pink. That's all, yeah. Alright. do it again. Shane is getting married. Someone's gonna cook him some curry. His mom hope he won't be complaining. Just annoy people wearing pink clothing. Shane loves his food. Lots of food. He doesn't like it when there is no food. So he said, Marcus after. Don't care if I get fatter. Louisa loves me even better. With my pink style and long t-shirt. Did you pray for Louisa? I heard you did. Or you prayed God don't send me to Ayala. Pastor John said Shane loves complaining. And he's not a fan of planning. You know Shane can't sing. And he's got thick skin. His mom prayed please someone's look after him. So he prayed Marcus after. Don't care if I get fatter. Louisa loves me even better. With my pink style and long t-shirt. I'm gonna sing this beat, but I'd like you to do the ankle beat. So I'll sing it first and then you follow me, alright? You got my next. He's glad with Samaki loves their food. Glad with Samaki loves their food. He's glad his fiancé don't complain. Cancer had answered his family's prayer. All together now. Binaka mote. Binaka mote. Binaka mote. Thank you, goodbye. Thank you, goodbye. But he said, Marcus after. Don't care if I get fatter. Louisa loves me even better. With my big star and long t-shirt. And long t-shirt.
We go to Macca's afterwards.
Anyone that knows Shane. Yeah. You know, we could talk about this man for hours. It's not. This up-and-coming minister, his love for people, his great preaching, his understanding of God's word, and willingness to follow. How everyone speaks so well of him. But why would we talk about Stephen Lim when we're here to roast Shane? So our next roaster is truly perspiring. Richie used to be part of a band and they sold some albums. Amazon said people who bought this item also bought a rope and a stool. So whenever Richie gets his shoes polished, he has to just trust the guy that he did it. It's not really fair. Coming up with fat jokes for Richie is like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Technically there's no limit, but at some stage they're going to close the doors and say we're going home. So my family tree is a bit strange. There was a man named Ian who unofficially adopted me as a dad. A man named Richie then adopted Ian as his dad, and I was also adopted as a father by Shane. So present today I have a father, a son, and a grandson. And I think it somehow makes me related to Satish. The weirdest part, my grandson here is 5 years older than me. So Richie is pretty nervous tonight. He likes some of the conspiracy theories. And see if you can follow me here.
Conspiracy facts, please.
See if you can follow me here. The Comedy Roast was made famous by the Friars Club New York, which is a fraternity founded in 1904. when you look into it, it looks a bit like a secret society. Now, Richie has taken the scripture, have no appearance of evil, very literally when it comes to secret societies, and as a result, has no appearance of skull and bones. Richie actually claims that most of his weight gain is due to a motorbike injury where he wrapped himself around a tree and severely injured his spine. There's no proof because the x-ray can't see through. So it seems like that is a bit of a conspiracy to me. We call it Batgate. So part of the secret to Richie's recent weight loss is he's been both diagnosed with and treated for infinity stones. Actually we're going to the Big Bash tonight, and we had to pay extra for our tickets rather than just getting general admission because we were told we needed to keep Richie off the grass. So Richie actually had a girlfriend recently, but while he was being shot at, he accidentally dropped her from the top of the Empire State Building. So a bucket list is a list of things you do before you die. I think Shane completed a couple of things on his bucket list yesterday. Richie hasn't quite understood. He said to me, the only place I know you go in a bucket when you die is Snowtown. You're going to need a bigger barrel. So here he is, the poster child for birth control. The man who once tried to squeeze the juice out of Scotch tape. Richie Stark.
I'm not going to wait on so bad. Sure, can I just grab my tablet there, please?
Yeah, sure. That stops us. You got a headache?
No, I'm not computer
The
ready.
headlight ain't go either.
Hey, how you all doing?
Good.
Some of you here don't know me. Some of you have gone up to Waiata to visit Shane and Pastor John. Oh, sorry, I should have put you two in order of importance and named Pastor John first there. Although I shouldn't be disrespectful to Shane, as we're gathered here to honour him, not crucify him. Although Pastor Paul tells me that the vote was very close. But it's almost as close as the vote for me to replace Pastor Paul as senior pastor. Actually, while we're on the topic of Pastor Paul, I'm surprised that he's here.
Me too. The only reason I'm here is to protect my house.
Some of you may be aware that Pastor Paul and I are never in the same room at the same time. For the first year, I thought he hated my guts. And that's okay, because I've got a lot of guts to hate. But we go to the Gawler Church, and they'd invite us round for supper afterwards, and Pastor Paul would just conveniently disappear, leaving his lovely wife to make supper.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't so lovely after that.
after this happened 50 or 60 times, Pastor Paul eventually rocked up one time when we were there for supper. And I thought, great, he's finally here. But then a young couple with devastating news needed counselling, so he disappeared again. But anyway, that's enough about Pastor Paul. I think it's time that we tackled the elephant in the room. Me. Did you know that I'm the only person that can fix global warming, but I'm too lazy to plug up the hole in the ozone layer? I've been high before, but not that high. And really, if you think about it, it's not my fault that I'm fat. Can't you tell I'm the son of two chefs? I'm so fat that I don't skinny dip anymore. I chunky dunk. Now that's enough about me. I heard that Shane and his dad and his family had to drive over here from Melbourne. The good news is At least they didn't have to pay for the taxi. I mean, who drove, Shane? Who drove? I mean, I know Shane looks a lot like a taxi driver, but here's something you may not know. Pastor John and Jack Thompson, who was meant to be here today, they both used to be taxi drivers.
That's right.
And
How they're Uber drivers.
and now I know where Pastor John gets his gnarly driving skills from. Hey Shane, like, you've experienced some of these gnarly driving skills. You know, especially driving down dirt tracks out bush. You know, I know he's a pastor and everything, but I reckon I nearly met Jesus while being in the car with John. And as for Jack being a taxi driver, he was known for around Mount Gambier as being the taxi driver with the cowboy hat. Well, I wish he was here for this, but I don't care what his cowboy hat was. That's not a hat. This is a hat. I've got a knife over here if you want me to know.
That's not a knife.
No, this is. Okay. Oops. So, yeah, I don't really know some of the other panel members well enough to make jokes of them, but
Just any joke.
but where are we?
We're here. Just channel Tom Ripples.
Okay. Just trying to figure out who this one's about. I forgot to write the name down. Okay.
It's like waiting for a PowerPoint
Josh.
to come up there.
Josh, buddy. Hey.
Hey!
Hey. I understand that he's a bit too much of a conservative driver to rival drop past John or Jack, but I do like his attitude because he's a young adults leader at the Whaler Church, and I believe congratulations are in order because Life Unlimited Church has a celebrity for a young adults leader. Yes, you see, I know Jack's secret, Josh's secret, I mean, and that is that his name is really Jared. How do I know? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Josh get a job at Subway to lose weight? I know the struggle, Jared. I know the struggle. And as for Reese, mate, I know we get along. We'd be great mates. We've got some stuff in common. Firstly, we both play guitar, and we are both disorganised. Reese is blind as a bat, and I used to be blind, but I got help and went to rehab. We both ride motorbikes, but Reese, really? A moped scooter. Come on, mate. Next time you come to Adelaide, I'll talk to some mates of mine and see if I can arrange a Harley. Alright?
Alright.
Oh, but then again, you're recently married, aren't you?
Yes.
So that, do they call that compromised or just being whipped? Yeah. I remember when Shane first started dating Louisa, he kept asking if I had any computer programs that he could use to create digital music without having to learn an instrument. I later found out that he was jealous because his girlfriend could play better guitar than he could. And this made me laugh because years ago when Pastor John and the Chans used to live in Waikerie, I was actually teaching Shane how to play guitar. We had music night every Friday and that was my goal, to teach music. And if he had paid attention back then instead of slacking off, I mean, typical teenager, you know, doesn't want to do any practice. I'd give him all these wonderful lessons.
And he'd go to the toilet.
And he'd go to the toilet. You know, flush everything straight down the drain. You know, so if you had paid attention back then, he quite possibly could have been a better musician than his fiancée.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Yeah. And talking about the bride-to-be, it's a good thing that she's not a tennis player, because love means nothing to them. But I guess Shane did take the time to court her. But as Shane's old guitar teacher, I thought I might have been asked to play at the wedding. So I've come up with a few songs that I thought would have been great, you know, like, if anyone that knows me, it's, you know, I would have made at a wedding nobody you'd ever forget. You know, like, what about that song by Tina Turner, you know, what's love got to do with it? That wouldn't be very appropriate, would it? What about, heard it from a friend who, heard it from a friend who, heard it from another, you've been messing around. That wouldn't be very good at all, no. Or, what about, she's my best friend's girl, but she used to be mine. I might lose a friend over that one. Yeah. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. What about you two? I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Or it's an oldie but a goodie. You can't always get what you want, but you can try sometimes. You might find you get what you need. To top it off, what about that Aerosmith song? Dude looks like a lady. I'm sorry, Shane, I'm sorry. Hummunter Hindi joke? Yeah? Yeah, Hummunter Hindi joke?
Hindi joke.
Yeah. Okay. So Shane was telling me when he and Louisa first started dating, and they were trying to have some time alone together, and Shane's parents popped over and surprised them, and but they really wanted to be alone. So when Shelley turned up, that's Shane's mum, and she greeted them with the usual Hindi greeting, you know, namaste, and Shane's response was nama go. And Shelley was like, nah, ma, stay. Then, of course, came the time for the newly engaged couple to tell Shane's parents of the engagement. This was a sight to behold. Shane and Louisa wanted to tell Shane's parents over a home-cooked dinner, and so the two youngsters invited them over, and the only problem with this is before Shane's family became Christian, they were Hindi, and beef is taboo to Hindi, but Shane, being a Christian now, went to make roast beef, and Shelley saw Shane putting the roast beef into the oven. All of a sudden, the situation just got weird, hey, like, took a step sideways. And it's like the whole scenario turned into a scene from The Simpsons. And Shelley, when she saw the roast beef, she turned into good old Bart Simpson. Don't hurt a cow, man. Well, I guess that's enough for me. Shane, congratulations, mate, for settling down and getting married.
Yeah, you were a wild guy before.
Yeah. You're a better man than me. And if you keep on eating your mum's goat curries, you'll be a bigger man than me too. Thank you.
There's a big letdown. Luckily ours came during the show. But no, we have an all-star cast tonight. We have Alpha Centauri, Apple Juice, and my son. So I mentioned before Jack was supposed to be here, he's not here, and then he was going to do a video and send that in and he didn't do that either. And I think he's just avoiding it to try to save face and doesn't realise that his face isn't worth saving. No, don't take that the wrong way. He's not ugly. He's just found a unique way of being beautiful. But now to the man of the hour. Is that right? I thought we were roasting the woman of some area. Louisa was thinking about her future one day and decided to pray about it. She prayed for a husband who was fat, offensive, and a bad singer. True story. Lucky for Shane, he met her before Richie did. So you might know Shane from the Second Trade Centre bombing. Some people... Every time he was in need, every time he split his pants, he would call me. Pastor John, I'm on the highway, I need you to give me a lift and a new pair of pants. How many times was it, Shane? So Shane was into Hunger Games long before he knew there was a movie. And Game of Thrones was what his family played at parties, because when the music stopped, the normal chairs would break. So my wife Cherry is not normally interested in insult comedy. However, because this is about Shane, she's happy with us doing it. So I showed her a whole lot of my jokes that I was preparing, just to get her opinion and see if they were going to work. And so she has selected some of my jokes to read. The reason she chose these ones, which she really is looking forward to me saying, the reason she chose these ones, though others might have been harsher, is she thought some of the other things I was going to say might be dismissed or misunderstood and just interpreted as humour. So here are some of the ones that Cherry wants me to say. We were all surprised you found someone like Louisa. You know, female. It's great that you have the ability to talk now, with a face designed for radio and a voice designed for sitting at the bottom of a swimming pool. She wanted me to tell you you look like an Ewok that grew up into Chewbacca. Both you and your dad have the same first initial, so we're going to call him Mr. S. Chand, and you will call S.W. Chand. So you look like Shane Iglesias, Gabriel's less funny housebound brother. Chand is actually the third most common surname in Fiji, with 31,000 Chands in Fiji. Yeah. It's not so common in Australia, but Shane has still found a way to be incredibly ordinary. Shane, Cherry wanted me to tell you, you look like a guru sitting on a mountain of original recipe pieces. I think this is the last one that she chose. Shane and Louisa are going for their honeymoon on a blimp. Make sure you stay in the middle, Shane, otherwise you'll start to look like a hamster. So Shane was told that he was unplanned, but he has taken it way too far. No? No response to that? I was really happy with that one. He just doesn't plan it. Just on the word plan. Yeah, we get it. Should blame Cherry for that one too.
Good effort.
So, although Shane is a second child, his parents thought they were Chinese and they were only allowed to have one child. And so they did everything they could to erase the evidence that they had a second child. They don't talk about him, and they hope no one knows. It was either that or find an enormous bucket. But now Shane, sadly, is leaving Whyalla and Cal, and all of his friends are going to miss him now that his wife's not going to let him have any friends. Don't you think he looks like he subbed in for Santa the year that Richie was in charge of cleaning the chimneys? But I owe someone money from a lost bet. They said Shane would probably end up with a trophy wife. And I said no, just be a participation award. But to name Shane our hero, in this era when we really need heroes. We all had heroes growing up, cricket players, football players, Batman, Superman, the Green Lantern, Yellow Fever. Yeah. Some of them work. But for those who don't yet believe that Shane is really getting married, and I nearly don't have the heart to say it, but I was actually there when Shane was talking to Louisa, and I couldn't see her either. But now, Shane, the reason we're here is to celebrate the fact that you're getting married. We didn't expect it. We all had bets that Richie would be first. But we're here, only a couple of weeks away from the wedding, which you're going to start planning soon. And we'd like to give you the opportunity to say a few words as well.
You're supposed to give me these songs in order, John. Hang on a minute. No, that wasn't. Hang on. I'm still looking. No, hang on. Well. You're gonna have to spell it out for me, man. You're gonna have to spell it out for me.
Ding, 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 ding. That's the one. There he sits inside your local coffee shop, sporting a main burning facial hair. But somehow he believes, although he has no job, that by his 30s he will be a millionaire. M-I-L-L-E-N, M-I-A. Gotta love a lady, M-I-L-L-E-N, M-I-A.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that ended. Well, thank you all for coming, first of all. Thank you for being here.
I paid me to be here.
Hey. Well, you are here. You chose this moment. Now, it's good that I get roasted, because as you know, I love roasting people. Every time you are with me, I love to pay you out. No matter who you are, from where you come from, you're going to get paid out by me. So it's good for once I get paid out. So,
I didn't know we had to pay him.
no, you can pay me something. So, thank you, Stephen, for singing that song for me. It was great. Now, Stephen, I have, ever since I've known...
Hand up the microphone, that lead. Yeah,
Alright, okay. That's the problem. Awesome. Okay, so Stephen, I have known you first time I moved to Whyalla, you were like the friendliest guy. You have taught me so much. One of the things that has been key in my life that you have taught me is never propose to a girl when you have a brain injury. That's a headache for a life.
He's taking notes, isn't it?
Stop, rewind.
So Richie, he looks like a guy who hosts award shows for terrorists. you can tell, award shows for terrorists. And as he gets up on the stage, he says, "Sorry," and the winner for the Best Terrorist of the Year award.
He's being disposed of.
Richie was actually really funny today. That's surprising because he's like never really funny. He was really funny, but he has advantage over most of us because most of us only have one funny bone. Richie is actually really nervous today. Like as you can tell, he was shaking. He didn't know what to say and couldn't find anything. That's because he had knots in all 4 of his stomach. So we need to finish this quickly because Reese has to go back to his job, which is his girl. No, actually, I won't use that one. I'm going to save it for later for something else.
Oh, come on.
That's what you don't get. Reese actually spends most of his time on his car than his wife. One thing is for sure, his wife is not as high maintenance as his car. Speaking of wives, Josh will be the only person ever to make sandwiches at his place. Dad, like recently I saw on the news it came up that NASA has actually discovered a really shiny object on Earth, and to their discovery they have searched and looked where it came from, and it came from directly on top of my dad's head. So good. So Pastor John, I've known Pastor John for a really long time, and Pastor Paul.
Yeah, it's
and
a long time.
They're father and son, and there's what I've discovered. There's 3 similarities between the both of them. Number 1 is a big head. That's it. It just took up 3 spaces. It's so big. And it was like, I really admire Pastor John. Like, you know, that's why he calls me a son. Like, whatever he does, I like to do, you know. He became a pastor. I wanted to become a pastor. He got a new car. I wanted a new car. He got married. I want to marry. I want to have kids like he did. Like, everything I see, like, I want, you know. He had a gay best man, and now I have a gay best man. So I really thank you for coming. I didn't prepare much because I don't plan. I planned this last night after 11. So in the toilet. I was very close, and someone actually delivered a tea to my toilet, which was great. This guy just came, "Oh, do you want some tea?" He's like, "Yes, please." Where do you get room services like that? In the toilet, and you get a tea? It's great. Anyways, thank you for coming. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, John, for organizing all of it. Yeah.
Very good.
Good.
That's great. We haven't heard all the insults he gave the visiting speakers and so on.
No, we didn't. We don't have time for all of them. What was it you said to Wayne Alcorn?
I couldn't take a picture of. So I was trying to take a picture of the stage, and I couldn't because his head was on the way and it was really shiny. I couldn't see anything.
That's our national president. That's what he said to him. I couldn't take a photo of the stage because your head was so shiny that it blocked everything out.
What about the head of Hillsong?
What did you say about Brian Houston?
Oh, you are.
That's fine.
So I actually really forgot what I said to Brian. He said, but basically it went like, "Oh, your nose looks bigger in real life."
He's going places, this lad.
So I forgot one of the announcements that I was supposed to make right at the start, and that was the prize for tonight is the best 5 jokes from tonight are going to be used in my best man speech at the wedding. Of course, you know, assuming they're appropriate for a larger crowd. You gonna be there? So at some stage I'll get the video of Isaac. Thank you, Isaac, for recording all of this. I know you really want to be on this side of the microphone teasing people, but we appreciate to give you the credit for all the photos that are taken. And thank you, Stephen, for that fantastic song. Shane's going to be singing that as the Weezers walking down the aisle. And it's going to be great.
So you're not going to pick one of them songs I chose?
But they're all too short. So they would have worked for Reese's wedding. So thank you all for coming. It's now 3 o'clock. We've got about an hour and a half until we leave to go to the cricket. And so we're going to clean up and sort everything out here rather than leaving it for our fantastic host to do after we leave. And so if there's any naans left over, I think we've run out of curry, but if there's naans left over, feel free to eat them and have as many of the drinks as you want. And go Strikers!
Yeah.